Hey guys, it's me, Gianni, otherwise known as Master Beetle here, with
Hi.
this guy.
I'm UKXD777, or
Yep.
Richard. Hi. This is my face.
Yup.
Is it uglier than you imagined?
Damn!
We're going right into it.
Nah, I just decided to make this little discussion video because me and Richard's been going really back and forth about the premium collection
And a lot of Vanguard stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Vanguard stuff in general, and no one's really talking about how the premium collection actually affects the whole premium metagame as a whole. They're just like, my cards clan is broken. This is, oh my god, look at these cards.
Or they're Narukami and they're crying in a corner.
And then they're just like, if they're Narukami and Murakuma, they're just like, nothing changes.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
just
Narukami's kind of used to being good, but they just kind of got...
No, Narukami was good for set 12, and then after set 12...
I mean, that's Narukami. It's not.
I mean,
they can't beat Kagero. They can't get one unit last for like 4 sets.
There's winners. There's always winners and losers in a set. That's just the way it is with every card game. There's always winners.
That's why Murakuma players still play standard, not
and
ranked.
that's why standard Nubatama is trash. Because you were the loser. But
we're probably gonna be losing.
now let's get back into the topic of the premium collection.
Now, so how about Gridora though?
Gridora is good, but I feel like the premium before the premium collection, I feel like it was a balanced and fair metagame for the most part. There was only two decks at the top that were really kind of disgusting, which was Anj and Ezel.
And Nubatama.
Not really. Kind of, but not really. That's the only thing you have.
Yeah.
But
we have it.
No, but it's not as disgusting as
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ezel's more RNG though, because Ezel's like, if I go first. If I go second.
Ezel is RNG, but you gotta...
Because it's all about who goes first, though, in that matchup, because they're less likely to win when they go second.
Okay, but it's still a very strong deck.
Yeah.
2 Excel circles while you're on 2 or 1 is pretty strong.
I mean, yeah, but it's easier to come back when you're on 2 than when you're on 1, when they do it.
Oh, okay. Let me just swing for 19 at your 9.
It's 15k card?
Okay, you don't have the 15k card.
Well, dang. Guess I'm lucky.
Easier to come back. My ass. Okay, so
again, it's still
I'm saying, I feel like the premium metagame right now is for the most part balanced. You don't really have as a disgusting deck as NLK Loop. They hit that, and now it's just a good deck.
Yeah.
But with the premium collection coming out, I feel like it just buffs up decks so hard in my opinion.
Victor.
Like Victor.
Bustard.
Royals with blasters as soon as that thing comes out, because blasters in premium are also disgusting.
Mega Colony
is also it's gonna be up there. Thanks to the premium collection, automatically you're putting Mega Colony, Gridora, and Darkface and all the friends. You're putting that at the top, and you're putting Bustard at the top. Because those are the 2 best strides out of that set.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In my opinion. Not counting the progenitors, but those are the 2 best strides.
Yeah, and also I think, especially with Mega Colony, because I've talked to this a lot about you, is that this just kills a lot of the best strides in this set, too, like Morfessa.
Yeah, they revealed Morfessa, Twin Sword.
And then Mega Colony just kind of destroys their whole thing.
Yeah, and Mega Colony can just lock you out of playing the game. Because if you don't have a grade 3 to ride, it stuns everything, including your Vanguard. If you don't have a grade 3 to ride, it just kind of locks you out of the game.
And it also kills stuff like Gear Chronicle, because Gear Chronicle needs the Turbo GB with their G-Guardians, and since Gridora tells you can't call anything except from hand, you can't G-Guard, and that just shuts off the Turbo to Heritage, which is their way to win early.
It shuts off Grand Blue and Pale Moon automatically.
It does.
So...
It's so sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel personally, premium collection we went back to the type of meta we had in GBT 14.
Because you're just going to keep striding
Gridora. We didn't... Which is why I left G's, because I didn't like that. I didn't this stride is good in all stages of the game. Let me stride this in all stages of the game.
Yeah, especially since...
What's the point of having a 16-card G-Zone if you're only going to use 4 cards?
4 cards. Here's the funny thing, at least in GBT 14... the meta decks only, your good stuff, so for instance, Rene with Nubatama or Balam in Dark Regulars, you could only go into them twice, because they had to flip themselves. So, you had 2 turns of Rene and 2 turns of Balam. Whereas these strides can flip anything, so you can just have 4 turns straight of Gridora or Bustard or whatever, and that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, at least, I mean, not that they were still fair back in GBT14, but at least you only had 2 turns of it. Not that you would usually survive the 2 turns of it, but you now have 4 turns of Gridora, 4 turns of Morpessa if you're not playing Mega Coney, 4 turns of Gridora, insert overpowered stride from this set here, 4 turns in a row.
Bustard, Morpessa. People keep saying Morfessa isn't broken. I've played on area against Morfessa various times. They kill me first stride because they can, for the most part, consistently, they can get the 10 and 1s and drop.
Plus, they turn their zeros into drop.
Yeah, they turn the zeros in there,
so it counts for the ritual, so it helps.
So
they just guard early.
Yeah, they're using that 1 stand trigger, and they're using a
Cursed Eye Raven.
They're using Cursed Eye Raven, and they're using the crit trigger for Luard.
Oh, the Wow.
Yeah,
because that turns into a 1 now, and then it recycles the
Yeah.
turn, so you're not negating anything, and it draws you a card.
So they accelerate really hard with that, and then Dagda says they can make multi-attacks.
And then since
So it's just crazy.
And since Morpheus is continuous, it applies to all the cards he calls, right?
Yeah, Morpheus is continuous to the front row, so everything gets 10k and it crit. So it's just
the only thing that
crazy.
makes this less OP is if you're playing Mega Con, you can just kind of say,
yeah, that's really the like.
And that's kind of the problem with that.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And premium blasters, it's really not that hard to get 6 different blaster units.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go first and they ride grade 3 first, they can just spit out a board and say, you need a PG. You survived? Okay, cool. Do I need a stride? I might stride into Twin Sword. But I might just say swing and you might need a PG again.
So unless you're playing Protect and constantly reread like Oracle Think Tank, you're not going to survive.
Something like that, yeah.
Because OTT still runs the whole standard engine, and they just do, Hirasu, Imperial Daughter, Imperial Daughter, Imperial Daughter. I think now they run Hexagon Omegas too, so they have Hexagon Omegas, Imperial Daughter, Hexagon Omegas, Imperial Daughter. And like the crits don't matter for Imperial Daughter, so Hexagon Omegas is basically just a second Imperial Daughter. They just keep writing.
Yeah, and it's not like, like everyone knows like Vanguard players like to complain. It's not like we're complaining necessarily. It's just that we were closer to a healthier game state
and then they just kind of
without the premium collection. Because now we're going back to more so a GBT14 meta where like the thing I didn't like about the end of G is you die between the first
and second stride.
The first and second stride. And that's basically what we're going back to. Besides Gridora, most of the decks now are just going to try and kill you first and second stride.
Yeah. Like, think of like Ichikishima from this set.
Ichikishima. You can use the new Ichikishima with the old Tom.
Yeah, you go Ichikishima, and then the next turn you just go into old Ichikishima, because she just got reprinted. So
yeah, you can do that. You could play a 2-2 split on the Toms and be like, okay, do I want this type of guard restrict that basically guard restricts everything, or do I want this type of guard restrict that basically guard restricts everything?
Hooray.
Yeah.
The only thing is one's restricted to stride 2 and one's stride 1 and beyond.
It's not like I'm saying like it's not way widely overpowered. It really isn't. Like you could keep yourself at low damage and try to like mitigate that.
Yeah.
But like
it's still very difficult since she shuts off perfect guards and G Guardians, because you can't, like, at least you get the 15k shield with your G Guardians, but perfect guard is completely useless because you can't use their auto abilities.
Can't use the auto abilities.
At least with old Ichikishima, you could guard grade 1 PGs to the Vanguard and try to survive a bit longer. Although you still have those unguardable Toms, and if they hit crits, then you're like, well, yeah. And it's OTT, so they're kind of guaranteed them almost. And then, like, there are some strides that were, like, needed for the game. You know, like, Gluttony...
it made the deck playable, but...
Nebros.
How's that going to help when you have cards like Bustard and
Gridora and stuff like that in the game? Honestly, I like... See, that's the problem with this set.
They made cards like Nebros and cards like the one for Link Joker, Avalanche, which were really good for the deck, that weren't overpowered, and that made sense.
Yeah.
The Avalanche one made sense because, like, oh, everyone got unlocked now? Well, guess what? If you unlock it, it automatically binds. That helps the leaders, that helps Starve, that helps every version of the deck.
Yeah,
it wasn't overpowered. It wasn't a finisher.
The only thing I will say, though, on that is there seems to be some wording issues with what unlock is versus what's just flipping a card in a circle face up, because a lot of the unlockers for, like, Aqua and Nova don't say unlock. They just say turn a unit in a circle face up. So does that count as unlocking? I don't know. So that
I don't know,
it might not even apply to them, and it might even just go under the radar.
It might
and
not
be
even
garbage
apply.
anyway.
And
If it doesn't, then
this
sucks.
card was widely though made for the bad matchups.
Yeah, which though Nova Grappler's not for
Which became very wide, just because y'all don't like lock. You think it's a stupid mechanic? Well, guess what? Undo it. Yep. Which makes it pointless.
Yeah, especially Nova Grapplers, and they're getting Bustard in this set too.
Like it really makes lock pointless, and that's what I really hate. Because lock really wasn't broken. They costed it wrong. They made it too easy.
Mm-hmm,
Once they started coming out with the second wave,
is when they started
chaos support. They made lock way too easy. And that's why they made all these stupid unlock cards that are like, so what's the point of my mechanic?
Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, because I remember back in the day, back when I played in Break Prices, you remember as well, you played back then.
Yeah, lock wasn't broken.
Lock wasn't broken. Lock was very expensive. And a lot of good lock, like most locking came from your Vanguard.
It came from your Break Ride.
And if it, or the Break Ride, and if it wasn't from that, and it was from the rear guards, you had to have already locked something to lock with a rear guard skill. You know, like Photon requires a locked card. Dusttail Unicorn, remember him? He used to require you have a locked card already on board. So most of the already locked units needed to lock something from the Vanguard first, and it was heavily costed. And pre-G, Link Joker didn't have any countercharge because that was how you balanced it out. Because once you ran out of counterbalance, you were done. Like they scaled it down a little bit, like because Chaos Breaker is definitely less costly than like Smart Shield was or Nebula Lord, but he still wasn't overpowered because you had to counterbalance one. You had to discard a card to lock one, and you could lock anything unlike Nebula, who had a CB2 to lock something in the back row. It was still like costly both ways because eventually you were going to run out of counterblast.
Yeah,
it was the inevitable counterblast out.
And like during like Legion season, it was when they started going into, hey, let's just make lock easy, or let's make lock free, like with Blaster Joker.
And Photon.
Blaster Joker just said, hey, let me just lock your whole board real quick and kill your Legion.
Mm-hmm. That was when problems started happening. And then they supported Chaos again in G, and they gave them Zinc.
That wasn't that bad, though.
It wasn't that bad, but they gave them Zinc.
Zinc was, at the time, it was an okay card. And the first time Chaos got support, it wasn't the top deck of the format.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because Universe was not broken.
It wasn't broken.
Because the first time you strode
it was only one card from hand.
Yeah, because you called one card, and it didn't lock two unless you had strode it before. Because you had to have... So you had to stride it, only lock one, and then you could lock... So I think even if you had a full board, I think it only called to open circle, too. So if you had a full board, they would have to...
Yeah, it only worked on open circle.
So basically, you would have to kill the locked card you previously locked from their hand in order to reuse Universe without having to go in a big crunch.
And you had to put a Limit Breaker enabler to get your limit break off.
Yeah, because you were stuck on old Chaos Breaker.
Because old Chaos is the only thing you had, so it really wasn't that broken.
Yeah. And then also, like, he cost Soul Blast of Star Vader, so you were restricted to Star Vader cards, so you couldn't abuse anything from the Messiahs.
So I'm happy for the premium collection because a lot of decks got really good cards.
But then there's just
I'm
too many
happy
cards
for Mega Colony, but like we're going back to a GBT 14 meta where you're gonna die in the first couple strides, and that's why a lot of people left G at the end of G.
Especially
since they said premium was broken. Well, guess what? Now it is, and everyone thought it was safe to go into Revival Collection. I had a lot of people in my locals buying Revival Collection. Mm-hmm. But I can see in the future that a lot of people are gonna jump off ship and gripe because of premium collection.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you think about it like this, with the whole like Ghidorah versus everybody else, and like Bustard versus everybody else, and Morfessa versus everybody else. If you think about it, people say that premium is very skill intensive compared to standard. But honestly...
It is, but triggers still matter.
It is. But here's my thing against that. When they make cards like Bustard or Ghidorah or, Morfessa, Bustard, Ghidorah, they're just taking skill away because it's, I don't need to think, I just go into this every turn. So you're taking, by making cards like this, you're taking skill. Yeah, you're taking, like, that's what I don't like about, that's what I didn't like about Rename, but I still played Nubatama because it's my favorite clan, but I hated how brain dead the game, the deck went from a smart tempo play deck to Rename, and it was like, this is boring. And that's why I think that the current Nubatama deck is boring, because Standard didn't breathe any life to the deck because they had no idea what they were doing with this Nubatama sport. This is turning into a rant about Nubatama's problems. We don't need to talk about that. If anything, I could talk about that on my channel. So, but like the whole thing I'm going on with the premium collection is it's taking skill out of the game because of how broken some of these cards are. Like some of them are adding skill to the deck, like Nebros or stuff like that.
Progenitor Dragons, I feel like were a good choice.
Yes, the Progenitor
None
Dragons
of them are broken. Some of them are bad, kind of.
Some of them are bad for certain clans in their nation, but some of them are really. But then they're also really good for other clans in their nation.
Yeah, but like they're not broken.
They're not.
And there's only like one or two strides in this set that's really like over the top.
Mm-hmm. But then because of those strides, those are going to take over the game, and it reduces the overall skill level.
You can already see from like if you're watching the market prices on TCG Player, people were going back to what G was. People are overhyping stuff. Gridoras are going up. Mega Connie cards are going up. Nova Grappler cards are been going up ever since Nova's gotten support and Standard.
Mm-hmm. So
we're just going back to old
price
G.
hike. And don't even get me started on Dragonic Overload, the cross, that stuff.
Oh like yeah, the cross is going up.
As soon as they drop the end.
Get your crosses now, because they will be $100 each. I can guarantee.
Oh yeah. They came from what, the first set of G?
Yeah, they came from
the first set of G. Ding. Like they old.
But that's really all we have to say, guys. This is just our thoughts personally on the premium collection. Comment down below what you guys think. If you're like, nah, you guys are wrong, just tell us why you think we're wrong.
Yeah, please.
Just give us a good reason. And like, hopefully, like, I want to be wrong. I don't want a disgusting metagame, but just from looking at Bustard and Gordora, let me tell you the truth. Do you think it's going to be fun playing against a card that says CB1?
Stop playing the game.
CB1, stop playing the game. If you don't, CB1... If you don't have a grade 3 in cards you can do with your hand to the board, stop playing the game.
Basically.
The only
and it also stops ramping.
The only deck that can kind of counter it is Bustard.
Yeah, because it kills you first try.
Bustard, the other deck that plays it. And we're going back to, hey, it's better to go second now. So, like, comment, subscribe down below, guys. It's Master Beetle.
And you guys see 777. I'll see you in the next video.